Hello and welcome to Friday mobility class with Tamara, that's me, and I am transmitting my last class from Cali, Colombia, soon to return to California. And of course today we have the last appearance, I'm so sad, of our special guest, the Salchi Dog. Let's give a warm welcome to the Salchi Dog. There she is. Welcome to the show. There she is showing her downward facing dog. She is an expert in that pose. She does it so well. All right, so today we're going to be working on the mobility of our feet and ankles. This is one of my favorite ones. Well, I guess I also like hips, but feet and ankle are incredibly important because they are the foundation of our body. They are what is in contact with the floor when we walk, when we run. And they're so important to keep healthy, mobile, and flexible for the rest of our muscular and skeletal chain. Sometimes we have pain in our neck. We go to the chiropractor like, oh, my neck hurts. And then they take your ankle and they go, kalak, and they put it back in place. I don't know if you've ever had that experience at chiropractors. If you haven't, I highly recommend going to a chiropractor every once in a while because they'll adjust your bones in just the right places and it has an effect in your whole body. So problems in our ankles, lack of flexibility in our ankles or mobility in our feet can lead to many problems in this moment and further in life. It can cause knee problems. It can cause hip problems. As I said, problems up your spine all the way up to your neck. And also, they can be dangerous. If you don't have a good mobility in your foot and ankle and you're not connecting your feet to the floor and using the proprioception, the capacity of your body to feel its place in space. If your feet don't have good proprioception walking, when you, perhaps more commonly when you're older, you can lose balance and fall. And those falls in elder people actually can have very serious consequences. So it's very important for our health and well-being, not only now, but also planning for the future, taking care of our body, is to let our feet be free. Don't lock your feet into shoes. Please let your feet be free multiple times a day, as much as possible. And also choose shoes that allow your toes to move. Don't buy shoes that keep your toes locked up because they will soon start to lose mobility. There are specific shoes and you need to ask for them. I'm not going to tell you brands, but there's a few brands out there that specify in wide toe shoes, especially for that purpose. And of course, I'm not a doctor to prescribe a type of shoe for you, but I would, if you have any issues with your feet, I would have a serious conversation with your doctor about how to manage and improve your foot and ankle mobility and flexibility without keeping it locked up anymore. So I'm not going to say more about that. Have that conversation with your foot doctor, okay? If you do have problems, issues in your feet, and you still want to take this class, please use precaution. Go slow, test it out. Don't go further than your tolerance level allows. So remember that pain is an alarm signal that's letting us know that something is wrong. So if you experience pain in your foot or in your ankle with any of the following exercises, please back off. You can reduce the pressure or modify so that you don't go too deep into the movements. All right? Please take care of yourself. You are empowered to make that call. All right? What else are we going to need for this class? Well, we are going to need my favorite tool, which is a tennis or lacrosse ball. I prefer lacrosse because it's a little bit more firm. We will also need a broomstick. I have a bamboo stick, but any regular broomstick works. Just unscrew the brush and grab that stick and bring it over. We'll also need a step. So you can do this maybe if you're doing it outdoors on the edge of the sidewalk. You can also use a sturdy brick. I am going to use a wooden brick. Regular yoga blocks, not so sure because they're very light. We need something heavy that's not going to move. So yeah, I think a regular brick is a good idea, or the edge of a sidewalk or a ledge if you're outdoors will work very well with this. And of course your yoga mat, a blanket, and some cushions because we're going to be seated. And let's do some foot massage because that is incredibly beneficial, not only for our physical being, but for our emotional and psychological well-being. So also go grab a little bit of oil that you can use on your skin. So any sort of oily lotion also works, and a towel, because it's very important that we dry our feet and take the oil off before we continue with our other exercises so you don't slide. All right, very important to do that. So I am going to grab the oil and a towel, and you go grab the other things, and I'll see you in 1 second, okay? Okay, I'm back. So we're gonna start with our foot massaging. I've chosen today, and I'm gonna cover the brand. I'm not trying to sell this brand. It's just a lavender oil. It has a very nice smell to it, and it's very slippery. So lotion might work, but lotion absorbs fast in the skin. So you'll just have to reapply as needed. So find a comfortable seated position. I'm gonna be on the floor, but you can sit on the edge of your bed or on a chair, wherever you feel comfortable reaching your feet, okay? And I'm gonna tilt this down just a little bit so we have a better view of the feet. All right, are you excited? I guess that was a very exciting fall of the camera. Sorry, guys. It's not the first time that happens. Okay. All right. So go ahead and take a comfortable seat. Use your cushions to make yourself very comfy. I'm going to go ahead and spread open this little towel that I'm going to use so that the oil doesn't get into the cushion. All right, so make sure to clean off any dust that you have in your foot right now. And let's begin. So take some of your favorite oil and we'll start massaging our feet. Let's see, I'm gonna do this so you can see my foot better. Again, any position where you're comfortable reaching your foot. All right, and I am going to start with both hands on the top of the foot and the sole of the foot. And I'm just going back and forth along my foot. Just getting that oil nicely distributed on the whole sole of your foot. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to take both thumbs and run up and down the arch. So I'm holding my foot. My fingers are holding the top of the foot, and with the thumbs, rubbing it in. Now, if you had a buddy to do this with, how amazing would that be? To have someone rub your feet. So we're going to show it here doing it to ourselves. But the amazing thing about doing it to yourself is that you can learn and feel what works, what feels good. And that way you can then have more confidence to do it to someone else. So we're learning to massage our feet here. For those who are just joining, hi! All right, so if you're just joining the class, we're using any regular, your favorite oil for massaging, and have a towel nearby to clean your feet so you don't have excess oil when we stand up. Okay, now there's the pinky side of your foot. There's a bone here that tends to get really stubborn. It gets really sticky. So what I'm doing is I'm hooking my fingers right on that edge. Hook and squeeze. Right on the pinky edge of your foot. And the thumbs can be on the top, and I'm just moving things around. So we're looking for loosening up, creating space between all the bones in our foot. So the foot has 26 bones, I believe. It's a very complex part of our body. Okay, now I'm moving to the top of the foot with my thumbs, rubbing on the top of the toes, kind of like the knuckles of the toes, okay, and pressing the toes down. So the foot has this big complexity, just like our hands, because they're meant to move a lot. Our hands, we are the species on this planet with the most dexterous hands. Opposable thumbs, we can move our hands in so many amazing ways. Our feet too. The only problem is that modern man has locked up their feet in tight shoes. So give your feet the freedom to return to their natural state. Walk on different surfaces. Walk outdoors, on gravel, on sand, on grass. Let yourself feel the earth through your feet. Please do this. Take more classes, exercise classes, where you can be barefoot as well. If you're taking a mobility class and the teacher has shoes on, wrong. You need to start with the feet. You need to be mobile in your feet. Okay, now we're also going to massage the shins and the calves. So go ahead and bring some oil to the shins and the calves. I'm actually going to take that pillow out of the way. So you can interlace your fingers and use the heel of your hands to squeeze up and down the muscles on your shins. And you're going to find a few different places that can be very tender, especially this muscle in the front of your shin. On the outer side of the shin can get very tight. So you can use that squeeze method to get deep into that muscle. I'm sure you're going to find some interesting sensations there. And also try to go up and down the calf. Move around in a way that you can access the calf and apply pressure with this squeeze method. Take your time. Take deep breaths here. Squeeze on the way up as well. It's very healthy to squeeze up because it helps with our circulation, lymphatic circulation. Squeezing the fluids and the lymph upwards towards the heart, towards the center of our body. Nice. And then just smooth it out. If you find any place that maybe needs a little bit more attention, you can squeeze with your fingers and your thumbs like this. And here I'm squeezing the back on my calf muscles. All right, one more last thing that we forgot to do for the foot. You can bring that cushion back in to support yourself. So from, with the opposite hand, palm of the hand against sole of the foot, see if you can interlace your fingers in between your toes. And now let's circle the toes and the ankle. The other hand can hold the ankle and squeeze. The thumbs can go to the sole. Get creative here. Get creative, explore the sensations, explore different angles, different movements of your foot. And make sure to go in both directions. So if you were circling one way, now change to the other way. And really get those toes moving. All right. And let's go to the other foot. Make sure to not get oil on the floor so we don't slip afterwards. Okay. Make sure that you take off any dust on the foot and top and bottom of the foot. Moving fast, creating some heat here. And getting that oil well distributed on the foot. Now it's also really healthy for your nails, for your toenails, to receive lotion, to receive hydration. Almond oil is very good for the feet, for the nails. There's many oils you can use. There's sesame oil, jojoba oil, coconut oil. Lots of options. Okay. Now my fingers on the top of the foot, and with my thumbs, I'm going to massage the sole of the foot. And just enjoy yourself. How many times in your life, I don't know, some people actually do this on a regular basis. Just massage yourself, give yourself a foot rub. Feels great. Feels good to take care of ourselves. Okay, now hooking the fingers on the pinky side of the foot, and squeeze. Squeeze and open, like you're unfurling your foot, opening up that edge. And now with your thumbs, rubbing on the top and the knuckles, especially the knuckles of your toes, and press your toes down. Also rub through the toes, in between the toes. Okay. Let's go ahead and interlace the fingers in the toes and circle it around. This is really good to do at night, to rub your feet with your favorite oil at night, and then put socks on and go to bed. And that is incredible to hydrate the skin. We're gonna losing the camera again, sorry. Did I lose anyone in the process? Okay. All right, let's see if we can keep this thing steady. Okay. So we're continuing with the circles. Circles. And when I'm doing these circles, you can also bring the thumb to the sole of the foot. So here I'm pressing with this thumb into the sole as I circle around. This is really good too. Both thumbs can be in the sole. And make sure that you circle in both directions and really explore the range of motion of your foot. Okay, now let's move on to the calf. So let's apply some oil on the calf. And because everything is connected, if we want to improve the mobility of our ankles and feet, we also need to pay attention to our calf, the muscles on our calf and shins. All right, now creating the squeeze, interlacing your fingers and squeezing with the heel of the hands to go up and down on the calf, especially this front muscle, the anterior tibialis, is a muscle that can be very tight, that can have a lot of tension, and that is nearly impossible to stretch, because if you were to stretch this front muscle, you would have to break your ankle and bend your foot that way to stretch this part. So we can't stretch it, we can only contract it here, and then when we extend our foot is the most length we can give that muscle. All right, and now squeezing also the back, the calves. You can also do some slow strokes. If you find any place that's a little bit interesting, that has interesting sensation, you can spend a little bit longer there. All right, make sure that you try to get the muscles of your calf squeezing the back. Okay, a little bit extra with the thumbs in the back and the calves. Finding all those tight spots, all that intensity there. All right, good job. So now, very important that we take that little towel that I said you needed at the beginning, and we're gonna dry our feet very well, especially the sole, so we don't slide now that we stand up. Be very serious about this part. It's a hazard. So please don't slide, don't slip after we do this. Make sure that you dry your feet very well, both of them. Very well. If you do this at home, remember to do this, to remove the excess oil from the sole of your feet. All right. Get it also in between the toes, because you can also slip there. And I'm using very fast, brisk rubbing on the feet to really get the oil off, and it feels good too to generate that heat on the sole. All right, that feels good. And we're going to move now to a release of our calf muscles. I'm going to tilt it just a little bit. Okay. So we're going to use the stick for this part. So we're going to take this stick and we're going to place it right on the Achilles tendon and slowly sit back. Now, if you have very tight ankles and it's not possible for you to extend your feet in this way to sit on your shins, go ahead and roll up your towel and place your ankle on the towel. And now that's going to reduce the angle of your heels, your ankles. Go ahead and place that stick again right at the Achilles tendon and sit back to where you can feel the pressure. Now, if you're not feeling a lot of pressure, gently press the stick down into your Achilles tendon. So just remember that if it's too much, you're doing it to yourself, and all you need to do is back off a little bit. So here you can push down, lean forward, and roll the stick up just an inch. Sit back, press down, lean forward, and keep going. Rolling the stick just 1 inch at a time. Sit back, press down, lean forward. Keep going, working your way up the calves. Sure, you're going to find a lot of interesting spots on the way, so if you need to slow down, pause, or apply less pressure, please feel free to do that at any time. Ooh, as you start getting into the calf muscles, it starts getting intense. Whenever it gets intense, slow it down, take deep breaths, and be there in that discomfort for just one deep breath. This isn't gonna hurt you. It's gonna be uncomfortable, but it's not gonna hurt you. So I'm still inching my way. Inching up. Oh yeah, it gets pretty intense higher on the calf muscles. So just slow it down. Oh. Breathe into it. Oh. Ooh. Pretty intense for me too, don't worry. I'm with you. All right, last big breath right here. Pressing down on the stick. Wow, okay. And let's take that stick out, stand up, shake out your legs. I'm just gonna turn on some extra lighting here. Okay, and shake those legs out. All right, so I'm gonna be half cut off here, but I want us to still focus on what's happening here on the floor with our feet. So we're gonna use the ball. So make sure that your feet are dry enough and they're not sliding with the oil. Okay, so how to use the ball with the foot. Really, just think about moving your foot on the ball in all the direction. So here I'm keeping my heel down and moving the ball across the ball of my foot. Side to side. Here you see it side to side. And I'm letting the toes kind of curl over the ball. Curl over. And then you can move the foot closer to the arch, to the heel, and repeat. A little bit more. Right on the center of the arch, moving side to side. This is very good for your feet. You can also do this sitting. So if you are sitting at a desk, working during the day, you can bring your ball and play with the ball. Take off your shoes, sit and play with the ball with your foot, pressing your foot into the ball and only going as far as it is available to you. And also roll back and forth from toe to heel on the ball. And try to find every possible angle. So here I'm going more towards the inner edge of the arch, finding interesting spots towards the heel. and also towards the pinky side of your foot. Back and forth. This is so easy. You can do this without thinking. You can do this while working at your desk. So good for you. All right, and let's go to the second foot. Side to side on the ball of the foot, letting the toes wrap around the ball. Moving it a little bit higher towards the heel. A little bit more towards the middle of the arch. Side to side. So healthy. All right. You can, again, you can do this every day at your desk. And now rolling back and forth from toes to heel on the inner edge, inner arch. The middle. Pretty interesting towards the heel. And pinky side of your foot. If you find any interesting spots, you can spend a little bit more time there. And again, if this is difficult standing because of holding the balance, just sit down. You can do this sitting down as well. Keep a ball with you at your desk, at work, and do this often, frequently, every day. Now remember that with all of these mobility exercises, if you really want to see a difference, you have to be consistent. You have to do it frequently. Keep that ball in your desk. Do it at home. Do it at work. Do it while you're watching TV, sitting on your couch. Massage your feet while you're watching TV at night, relaxing. Do it. Move. Mobility is about moving. If you don't move, you're not going to gain mobility, all right? Let's make that very clear. Okay, I'm going to shift just a little bit higher the camera because I want to show you now the what we're going to do with the step or the brick. Now please be very careful with this. Don't slide. It can be very dangerous. If this happens to move, you can hurt your ankle. So please bring a hand to a wall. Make sure you're doing this with a very sturdy object. A step outdoors is probably better. Something that's not going to fall. Now to make it even more safe for me, I'm going to fold my mat and I'm going to put the mat on top, and I'm going to leave it like this so you see the brick is right there, okay? But this is going to make it very stable, and it's less likely to slide. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring our foot in that angle, and this might already be a lot for some of you. So we're going to start slow, just bending the knee and bringing the knee forward, tracking in the same direction as the toes. So try to avoid the knee tracking, falling in or out to the side. Try to keep it right over the toes. And I'm just using my body weight here to find that angle in the ankle and the extension here of my Achilles tendon and my calf. So you can do it with the knee bending. So just do this a few times, and also do it with the leg extended. So with the leg extended, go ahead and fold over. Maybe you can reach the brick. So here we're really feeling that stretch in the back of the calves and the hamstrings. Whew. It's very nice stretch here. Since I have the stick here, I'm just going to use it as extra support. So here I can walk down the stick and lean in this way. And I'm really feeling it in the back of the calf and my hamstrings. All right, second side. So you can be doing this on the wall or with a hand on the wall. And pay attention. Here I'm noticing, for example, this knee wants to fall in. It wants to fall in this direction. And that is a sign of some tightness in this ankle, which makes sense because I've sprained this ankle. So this ankle, I know, needs a little bit more work. Believe it or not, I have chronic left hip pain. And one of the primary causes of that hip pain is I've sprained that ankle, and its mobility is restricted on the outer side, and that causes me hip pain. Every therapist I've been to finds that. Chiropractors, osteopaths, they have noticed that pattern. All right, so after you've lunged in, bending your knee forward, and you're probably feeling that a lot right here in the front. Now we're going to extend the leg and lean forward with the leg extended. I'm using the stick to keep my balance here, and I'm really feeling it back here, all along the back of my leg. Just take a few deep breaths there. All right, and let's come out. You can leave your stick to the side. We're going to take the brick out. Won't need that anymore either. Okay, let's come to standing. All right. Great. And go ahead and shake one foot out, shake the whole leg, and the other one, shake it out. Shake the whole leg. And now you can hold your hips with your hands. You can also have a hand on the wall for what we're going to do next. Let's start with our left foot. Take it back and press the top of your toes gently into the floor. Like you're reaching the toes back and down into the floor, and then here forward, bring the hips forward, open the chest. So you're creating a long line of extension all along the front of your body. Hold here for a couple more breaths. Right. And now we'll move that foot in circles. So I'm rolling the toes over and under. Really moving those toes. Going the other direction. So the ankle is also rotating. And let's go to the other side. Right foot back. Press the toes into the floor. And hips forward, chest open, lengthen the whole front of your body. And now circles. Over and under. Change direction. Great. Good job. Shake it out if you need to. And now bring your feet together. Spread the toes. Really open them out. Fan them out. And bring your hands to the top of your knees. And make circles. Deep circles with your knees. So you also feel this in the heels, in the ankles. We're doing about 10 rotations in each direction. So count 10, and when you're done, change, count 10 in the other direction. Great. And come up to stand. Take your feet wide, and we'll swing our arms from side to side. And as you swing the arms, look at the back foot. I'm turning to press the top of the toes into the floor. Turn, 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 turn. Keep going. Let's count 10 more. All right, coming back to center. Let's play a little bit with our balance. So go ahead and bring those toes, those feet together, spread those toes, and go ahead and bend the knees, bring your belly in. So we're like in a chair pose, in a yoga chair pose. I'll show it sideways. Staying really strong in your legs. Go ahead and take your right toes forward, touch the floor, then out to the side, to the back, and all the way across to the side. And bring it back, slowly touching each one of the 4 directions. Front, side, back, the other side. Let's do it. Let's reverse it. And we'll do it one more time. Side, back, the other side. And let's see if now you can smooth it out. Drawing a big circle, barely touching the floor. One more. And back in. Shake it out. So if you felt your ankle adjusting, moving, that's what we want. We want to strengthen the stability muscles in our ankles. All right. Second side. Chair pose, knees back, belly in, and let's go now second side, other foot. Forward, keep the chest up. Side, back, and across. Back, side, front, back, side. Okay, now smoothing it out. You should be working hard to keep your balance on that standing leg. All right, one more. And bring it back in. Shake it out. Good job. Okay, now for this one, bring the thick towel. Make sure you have good padding for your knees. Here I'm doubling up. Here the mat is doubled up, and I have the towel. Okay, so for this one, it'll be a slow descent to a squat. Slow, 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 slow. And then knees down to the floor. Back up to standing. And I'm going to show it sideways. Now, you can do this. You can support yourself. So if you have your stick nearby, you can hold on to the stick. Slow it down, hips back, and then bring the knees forward. Let the heels come up, and then knees down. To go up, sit the hips back, rock onto the toes, and come up to standing. So that's with the support either of your stick or of the wall. You're welcome to do it without it. If you want to do it without it, you can use your hands to counterbalance yourself. Slow, 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 slow. Knees forward and kneeling. Back on the heels, so bring the heels down to come up to standing. And let's do it twice more. Slow and controlled. And back to standing. Heels and up. That might be a tricky one to figure out. It's good for your brain too, to figure out a new move. Okay, and now for this next one, we'll lower down by stepping back. So we'll take a long step back into a lunge, and then lower the knee down. Keep your toes connected to the floor. Come up and down. A few times. Keep your belly in, your chest straight up. Again, if you need some support, you can use the stick. Or you can use the wall. Let's do one more. And step forward. Let's change sides. Either with your stick or without it. Press those toes into the floor and lower the knee down. You can use your arms to help yourself to balance. And really press that back heel back. So it's very active, that back leg, very active, pressing. And keep those toes connected to the floor. Let's do a couple more. And step forward. Now we'll come into a squat. If you are still working on your ankle mobility, you can roll your towel or the edge of your mat and step your heels on the towel, and we'll come into a squat. Now this position is one of those positions that we should be assuming every day. If we didn't have, imagine just 100 years ago, the majority of the human population did not have running water and toilets at home. And they would go to the bathroom in latrines, like holes in the ground, like this. And this kept their joints pretty healthy. If you have to take a position like this every day, your flexibility is going to be in check. So just imagine that you had to squat down at least once a day to go to the bathroom. Sit like this for a while. So do it at home. We have toilets now, so we don't have to squat down to go to the bathroom, but we still need to squat. So go ahead and come up. And I'm going to squat facing you without the towel, but you're welcome to use the towel if you need it. And now for this squat, turn your toes out and the knees out. So it's a wider squat. Press your knees out with your elbows, and now we're going to lean side to side. Okay, and if your feet and ankles allow it for today, we're going to turn, we're going to do a full circle. And you can help yourself with your hands on the floor and squatting. Go ahead and turn full circle, side to side, and now in the other direction. Back to center. If you have kids, go ahead and squat down, get low, and do a little squat circles with them. I'm sure they'll love it. All right. There's so much more we could do. There's so much more exercises and movements to improve your ankle and foot flexibility and mobility. The number one thing that I recommend, yes, of course, the ball at the desk, so you can play with the ball with your feet at work. The most important thing is let your feet be free to move. Go barefoot. Please take your shoes off. Go walk on the grass. It's summer. It's beautiful outside. Go to the river. Walk on the gravel. Go through the rocks. Go explore and feel the different textures of the earth through your feet. And this is not only important for the physical well-being of your feet and the mobility, but it's an energetic connection to the earth. It's grounding, it's rooting, it's feeling the power and the stability of the earth. Go do yourself a favor this weekend and explore different textures and substrates barefoot. Let me know how it goes. Write little comments on the below here on the video. And thank you everyone who's been following these classes with me from here, from my home in Colombia. This is my last transmission from this room. I am really happy and sad to be going, but it's been a whole experience, and I'm just rolling to the next phase. Thank you so much, everyone. I'll still see you here. More classes to come. On Monday, I'll be transmitting from Florida, the beach. So hopefully I find a good scenery. Okay, love you lots. Take care. Move those feet. Ciao.